with Coach Everett Overton. The phone lines are open right now. Tonight we are going to discuss how to squash, and I mean nip it in the bud, insubordination. How to squash the kind of behavior that destroys relationships. How to immediately squash misconduct, rather. However, the phone lines aren't. The phone lines are going to be. They're open right now, but Dev is only going to be screening phone calls for the next 40 minutes because at 8 o'clock she is going to be headed to the tanning booth to get tan so that I can then beat the brakes off of her. By the way, check it out. I guess I'll go ahead and show my audience. Got a couple of new pair. So number one, here are the panties she's going to be wearing. All right. Nice, nice pink sparkly thong, right? Always love that. Then I got her a couple pair of these. I love these strappy stripper heels. They tie all the way up her leg. Got the nice clear bottoms. I'm thinking I got her a black pair and a white pair. I think I'm gonna make her wear the white pair tonight because she is tanning, and that contrasts nicely against her legs. So I've got a scenario here, EO, and some of my audience is aware of the scenario because I briefly discussed it on one of my live. Always love that. Then I got her. Yeah, there we go. I briefly discussed it on one of my live streams, probably this past week. Here's what's going on, right? So Dev turned 45 yesterday. Happy birthday to Dev, blah, 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 blah.
Yes,
so I said to her, all right, so what would you like for your birthday? She didn't even hesitate. She says, I want a boob job. I said, okay, why do you want a boob job, right? And listen, I'm not gonna object to it. If she wants a boob job, that makes her more attractive, right? So she gave me the right answer. She says, well, to keep your attraction. I said, good answer. And so she says, all right, can I have a boob job? I said, yeah, absolutely. Here's the stipulation. I'm getting Dev a boob job for her birthday. It'll probably be next month sometime. Because I am increasing her sexual market value, I am not going to pay her anymore. I'm not going to pay her anymore. I'm going to pay. I already pay all the bills in the house. So right now I pay her $115,000 a year, and so she gets the boob job. I don't pay her anymore. Here's why: because when I get her this boob job, it's going to spike her SMV, and she doesn't really have to spend any money. She doesn't have to spend any of her own money. It would be stupid of me to increase my woman's sexual market value, and for somebody else, for her to save up the money and then dip it out of here. So basically, listen, here's what I'm doing. I am maintaining my leverage. If she wants to jump ship, no problem. I will let her jump ship. But guess what? You're getting no money from me, right? So if I pay, dude, in 6 months, she could save, $55,000, $60,000 and bounce. Not to say that would happen, but again, Devin loves her some Donovan, but she's still a woman. So to protect myself and my investment, guess what? You increase your sexual market value, I decrease your pay. What are your thoughts?
I think it's a negotiation. I think every conversation you have with your women and your colleagues, everything's a negotiation to some degree. I mean, if they want something, okay, no problem. I get something. Either I get something when you get something, and that's just the way it is. Yep. And so, if those are your terms and conditions, if that's what you that's your contract for that. Hey, you get a boob job. Does she need him?
Listen, I don't think so. But
I'd talk her out of that one if I were you.
Well, I mean, listen, man. There's always room for improvement, and she actually has. So she's 45. Her tits are like, I don't know, maybe 13 years old. Because up until she was like 32 years old, she was flat chested. All of a sudden, at 32, she grew these, size D tits, and so her tits are a lot perkier than the average 45-year-old woman. Right. But apparently, women are self-conscious and this and that and the other. And this wasn't a negotiation. I actually made this decision unilaterally. I said, all right, sure. So I'm getting her a boob job. I said, you know what? I'm cutting the pay. Now, I'll give her like a $250, $300 allowance per week or something per month so that she can go out and shop and do whatever. But she didn't have to pay any bills. She could literally have anything she wants. And so in order to protect my investment, I'm not going to finance that anymore. I am making her, so I'm increasing her sexual market value, but I am increasing her dependence on me tenfold.
Hey, it's not. I don't see a problem with that whatsoever. Some of the guys say that my mic is too loud. Does it sound too loud to you?
It doesn't. Well, actually, it doesn't sound loud to me, but it is showing on my my equalizer that you're redding out. So.
Okay, I pulled it away from my face a little bit. Hopefully that improves. If somebody in the chat room can let us know if that's a little bit better. I don't want to be too loud, but no, man. I mean, this is your life. It's your system. You run it the way you want to run it. Hey, if she wants boobs that bad,
hey man, I mean, listen.
There's an exchange to do that. Yes.
That is exactly right. If she wants boobs, I will buy her boobs. But listen, an increase in sexual market value, that's great. But guess what? That comes at a price, and that is $115,000 a year. So they better be good. I mean, I'm probably going to spend. We're going to go to a good doctor. We're going to go to a good doctor, a good surgeon. We'll probably, like, a good boob job is probably about maybe $25,000. And so that's, I figured I'd run that back to you. I'd run that by you, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, with a man, it's our way. Our way is the best way. We got to look out for number one. Right. Like you said, there's no guarantees in anything. So you can guarantee things for yourself. So your guarantee is, hey, if you want to increase your sexual market value and maybe you lose your mind in 2022 because you're getting more attention, well, you're not going to take my money when you leave. So I don't see a problem with that.
And listen, this is actually a win for her, because if she does decide that she wants to jump ship, hey, she'll actually attract a little higher quality of man than she normally would otherwise. So it's a win for everybody. Listen, you'll be a broke bitch with a great boob job, but you'll attract a higher level man. So, I mean, that's the way I see it.
That's right. That's right. It's a good way to put that.
I'm doing you a favor. But real talk,
I agree.
To me, that is protecting my investment. She said it's to become more attractive to keep my attraction. We're going to find out. We're going to find out very, very quickly.
Right.
Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about, again, immediately squashing misconduct, immediately squashing bad behaviors. The very first one that we are going to talk about is the one on the thumbnail, and that is her tone of voice. I'll put it to you this way, EO. These days, women they're disrespecting their men in public in many ways, right? The way they do it the most is the way they talk to these men. Like, we see women raise their voices at their men. We see them being overtly condescending. We see all of this outward disrespect in public, and we always think to ourselves, how in the world is she getting away with this shit? Well, the answer is simple. He didn't check her ass the first time she yelled at him or took an aggressive tone with him, okay? Yep. The way to handle your woman verbally, disrespecting you in private and public, is to handle it verbally. The very first time she raises her voice at you, you look her right in the eye and softly say, lower your voice. You keep eye contact with her until she looks away. If you tell her to lower your voice and you're locking eyes and she doesn't look away, she belongs to the streets. She's gonna bump heads with you. She clearly doesn't like to submit. If she wants to sit there and play you want to play the staring game? Bet. Throw her back to the pound. But women who look away, this lets her know that she is never to raise your voice at you. The very first time she condescends to you or she speaks to you in a disrespectful tone or gives you an attitude, again, look her dead in the eye and say, watch your tone. Dude, I say, watch your fucking tone. I actually had to do that with Dev today. Devin witnessed an accident. And so it was right near where we live. And so I go out there, and she's freaking out because we got it all on the dash cam, and she's trying to get it off the dash cam, and she's like, no, do it this way. I said, yo, Dev, watch your fucking tone here. Like, just because you're in the driver's seat does not mean you get to talk to me like you're a fucking man. I understand you're a little upset. You need to watch your tone, because this shit could get real quick. She calmed down, and all was well. So again, watch your tone. In both cases, guys, you do not yell, okay? You don't get crazy. You don't get angry. You simply lower your voice and make strong eye contact, okay? The reason I say speak softly is that this is far more effective than yelling or getting loud with her, right? It will have a far great, and here's the thing, I'm not a parent, but I remember sometimes our parents used to yell at us, that's just the deal. But when my mom lowered her voice and told us to knock it off, we took her seriously. We took her, whoa, wait a minute, mom said that quietly, right? If after the first warning, she does it again, then you turn up the heat a little bit and let her know that there will be consequences. Hey, knock it off or I'm taking you home. So let's say your girl raises your voice at you again. This time, you say, you raise your voice again, I'm taking you the fuck home. Or you raise your voice again, and I'm gone. Your thoughts, EO?
Okay, the first thing that comes to mind is never put your girl in an authoritative position.
Right.
Okay, so if she is driving, she's always going to feel like she's in charge.
That's right.
It's kind of sucks because sometimes we got other things to do. Hey, we're going here. You're driving. But it's one of those things. As a man, you always have to be in the authoritative position for her to know her role. Yes. Okay, so if you give her keys to your house, okay, before she's earned it, she's gonna feel like she can just be up in there doing whatever. So like it's always that the man should be in the authoritative position always. That way she always knows her role. So if you're driving and she says something or she's doing something, you say, hey, listen, shut up. Like I'm not nice. Okay, when I talk, I'm not nice at all, and I'm very misogynistic. Yeah, like I like to just say it right the first time. So I'll say, shut the fuck up.
Okay.
I'll say, hey, shut the fuck up. Like, hey, right now it's not time for that. Shut the fuck up with that. Now, it's just the way I talk, and I get things done when I speak this way. Sure. So, and if she don't like it, she can leave. That's my new quota or my new motto. Excuse me. If you don't like it, leave. Like it's because my life is still going. Now, I'm not always gonna say shut the fuck up, but if there's a time that she's being out of line and we're in public, I am going to say in front of whoever, hey, fuck is wrong with you? Right. Like, do you lose your mind right now? Shut the fuck up. I'm handling business. I'm going to say it just like that, and I don't give a fuck who's there. But how you can minimize those situations, you're not 100% going to remove them, but you'll minimize them greatly when you remove her from the authoritative position.
Absolutely, man. Why is it now? You said something just now that really got my attention. You said if she's driving. So in other words, make sure she's never in an authoritative position means don't even let her drive. Tell my guys why that's important.
Well, I've done this in the past. I've actually, like in my player days, I'd be like, I'm going to have this bitch pick me up. But here's the problem. I've had women pick me up and we've had a little too much to drink and we get in an argument. Now she feels like she controls the situation. Yes. So she can cuss you out. She can disrespect you. What's she going to do? Leave you in the middle of nowhere? Right. She might. And now you gotta, hey, you might be in the hood somewhere. So now you gotta walk home. So if anything, you're always controlling the situation. So when it's time to leave, either you come in or you stay. Okay, I'm leaving. So, and trust me, the woman will always have it in her mind that she has the power if she's in the authoritative position. This goes for married women. I've seen married women that with their husbands, and if the husband's not driving, she's checking them. She's telling them to turn the fucking music down. Like she's just controlling the situation. And so at the end of the day, the man needs to be in the authoritative position.
I like that, man. And it's funny. I probably let Dev drive. I let Dev drive more than I should just because, just like I said, just like you said, we got shit to do sometimes, man, and it just happens to be that way. We got Red Pill Mike on the line. RPM, you're on live with Donovan and EO. What's going on, brother?
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
Not too much, man. How you doing?
Hey, what's up?
Doing good. Just wanted to call in on this topic because my experience has been over the years, I tend to lump shit tests and bad behavior into the same box. The only difference is a shit test will be something they will purposely do to test you for congruency, and the bad behavior is just kind of comes out naturally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's true.
And there's usually 2 times where a chick will do this.
Okay.
She's going to do it, of course, way early on to see what the fuck you're made of.
Right.
See how you handle it. And then once she makes it past that, if everything tends to go smoothly, if she actually pushes for your commitment and passes all your tests, passes all the rules, agrees to everything, and you give her your commitment, mark my word, within probably 2 days, the bitch switch is going to go off again.
Wow.
As soon as she has your commitment, she's going to start doing all the crazy stuff. She's going to start acting up again. Then might even purposely start shit testing you all over again just to see how you handle it now that she thinks she has your commitment.
You know what's interesting?
As long as you maintain your frame and stay exactly the way you've always been and handle it, you're good at that point.
Right.
Now, at some point beyond that, there may come a time where they do it a third time or a third series of times.
Mm-hmm.
By then, if you haven't proven who the hell you are to this woman, and she's continuing to do this like over and over again on a cyclical basis, it's up to you whether you want to continue to put up with it. My advice is don't.
Thanks for checking in.
Good advice.
Listen, RPM is absolutely correct, and it's interesting. I've said this before, and I want to get your thoughts on this.
Sure.
We teach guys the power of the abundance mindset, right? Always be messing with multiple girls. That way, if one acts up, you still have 2 or 3 more to fall back on, right? Standard game. Well, it is very easy to have the abundance mindset and act in such a way that lets a woman know that you have abundance when you actually have abundance, which is good. I'm not throwing shade on anybody who does that. But it takes a hell of a lot of intestinal fortitude to be able to act the same way when both you and your woman, not to your woman's knowledge, you and your woman knows that you're not out here fucking other bitches. Like, dude, Dev knows I work all the time. She knows I work all the time. She knows I'm not out here messing with girls as far as she knows. But guess what? If her ass steps out of pocket, I don't even think. I just react. And I react in such a way that I know I can replace her in 10 minutes or less if I want to. So it's one thing to be, Captain fucking Red Pill when you have everything around you, everything is set up. But it is quite another to act in such a way that you have abundance when there's no safety net.
Yeah, there was something I said when I did my 21 convention speech before. Mm-hmm. I might have mentioned it in my CME speech too, but it's important that men early on date casually for a long time without even thinking of commitment. Right. And the reason why is you have to know what it feels like to be worshipped by a woman, mm-hmm. You have to be with a bitch. Okay. You got to be with a Latina, right. A black girl, white girl, Asian girl, tall, skinny, chubby, fucking everything. Try as many women as you can, and of course strap up. The reason why is because you got to know what it's like to be with them and then be without them.
That's right.
I think you just text me that the almond milk.
Oh, damn, dude! For whatever reason,
hey, I can get over there real quick. I'll fly over.
No,
it's
all good. I got
anyway,
you. Listen, I'll save you the. I'll save you the trouble.
It's cool. It's cool. So the problem is guys haven't had enough experience with women to know that at the end of the day, they're easily replaceable.
Sure.
Okay. Sure. When you've only had 1 or 2 and then you get vagina,
there you go.
It's difficult to do it. So once you've actually ran through a lot of women, you've seen, they don't bring a lot to the table, man. And it's going to really be up to me to coach and cultivate them into the product that I want if I'm ever going to be long-term with this woman. So, when a guy knows that, like, hey, I'm pretty much better off without you. Okay. I'm going to tell the men this listening, and this is just how I view it. This is my own opinion. Women are a nuisance. And for a man like me, they slow me down.
Yes.
Okay. So I got to have something extremely exceptional who has a skill set and a want to be under my leadership for me to even consider it. And because my life is so dope, I'm running everything single-handedly there she is. Happy belated birthday, by the way. It was SNO's birthday this week too.
No shit. My birthday is
Wednesday. So to bring this segment to a finale here, what I'm saying is that when you have experience with women, this is why I say when you're young, focus on your career, focus on a trade, getting down what you're going to do for a living. Pound out the hours. You should be working 60 to 80 hours minimum.
Yes.
Get your credit in line, have your own place, buy your own shit, learn what it's like to be self-sufficient, wake up in the morning without anyone on the pillow next to you, make your own breakfast, take care of yourself to a point where you don't need her. And that way, when she comes in and if she ever disrupts your system, you can easily let her go.
I swear to God, man, I think you've hacked my computer, because I have listen, I have those exact same notes from last year when I talked about this stuff. This is unbelievable. This is why we're in sync. EO is 100% correct. And here's something you said actually rings even more true. So when you're building yourself up in your 20s and early 30s, that's the time when you should really be dating casually, right? Date casually, no commitment. Dude, listen, you're going to fall, you're going to scrape your knee. Dude, get hurt. Date a Latina, date a crazy girl, date an older woman, date a MILF, date a young, date them all, get hurt by them all. This will harden you. Okay, you will be battle hardened. That way, when you really start to make something of yourself, and your salary, your yearly, monthly income starts to increase, you will now have the game to deal with the kinds of women that are going to make themselves available to you. It's one, and again, experience, as we all say, is the best teacher. We know that is 100% certain. But a lot of guys say, well, you guys tell us to, build our worth and work our asses off in our 20s. Well, when we turn 35, what happens when you don't have experience with women? When you're building is when you have that casual experience with women. Don't commit to anybody, because if you do, I'm telling you, EO, nothing can derail your life quicker than committing to the wrong woman, no matter what age you are. And guys, listen, man, guys in my 20s, my young guys, I know it's easier said than done. You're walking hard on. If you get the pussy, you're going to do anything. You're going to do whatever you can to keep it. But just think, in 7 to 10 short years, you'll have fucking 6 of these bitches beating down the doors to get to you. If you can put off if you can just deal with a little bit of delayed gratification, you'll be unstoppable when you become of age.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that. It's almost like anything, man. With reps, you get better at it. So the better you get at sex, I'm gonna be honest about this too. I don't think women are that good at sex. I'm good at. I'm the one good at sex. I'm the one good at seduction. I'm the one who made that vagina wet anyway. Okay, I'm the one that did it with my talking points, my mouthpiece, my lifestyle, the way I move, perhaps the way I look even. So it's like the woman ain't shit compared to me. And I want guys to feel like that. Like, I'm the one that's throwing down in the bedroom, not you. You're really the taker of the dick.
Yes.
Okay. You're the taker of the dick. Okay. And even when you're on top, I got to still instruct you how to move. All right. Like this, like that. All right. Slower. All right. Speed it up. All right. Now suck. Like I'm in charge of everything. Right. So if I'm going to be the director of this entire shit, you better bring me honor, respect, and loyalty. Dude. I'm just being honest. You got to bring that to me.
Listen, real fucking talk. I'm going to reiterate what EO just said. There's no such thing, and I'm looking at the camera, there's no such thing as a woman who's good in bed. Okay, attractiveness and blowjob skills do make a difference, but there's largely no real skill in getting smashed. In every position, with the exception of maybe cowgirl and reverse cowgirl, we're doing all the work. We're doing all the work. You know what? It's funny. To this day, like sometimes Dev and I, sometimes I'll get lucky and I'll last like 30 minutes. And when we get done, I'm panting. And I'm like, what the fuck are you panting for? You just laid there. She's like, you're a big guy. Da, 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 da. And so I'll sort of make fun of her for that, right? Is Devin good in bed? Listen. Is she good in bed? There's not an answer to that. She's not good. She's not bad. Listen, she sucks a good dick as far as I know. I mean, listen, she sucks my dick good. I don't know about anybody else. But yeah, does she look good when she's when she's getting smashed by me? Yes. To me, that's all that matters. But guys, we need to get out of the habit. We need to get out of the habit. And Myron Gaines actually had a content creator on his channel last night talking, and one of the girls asked, and Carlos in Chicago, we're going to come to you right after this. One of the girls asked, why is it that guys just expect girls to suck their dick, but then they don't eat pussy, right? And now the guy that was there, he loves all of that. He's like, listen, I love the foreplay. I'll eat pussy. I'll lick toes. Like, he's just that dude. But Myron says literally exactly what I feel. If lick and snatch is your thing, no problem. But if it ain't something you don't want to do, then don't fucking do it. Because I'm going to tell you something. This is something he didn't say. 99.9% of a woman's satisfaction in bed is tied to your satisfaction. I'll give you two scenarios. It's scenarios, EO. Man and a woman having sex, right? Scenario A. They have sex for 15 minutes. The girl shakes and hits the silent shakes. The guy doesn't blow his load. Scenario number 2, they have sex for 15 minutes. The girl doesn't get off, but the guy blows his load. Which scenario would 100 out of 10 women choose? They would choose the second scenario, because if you don't blow your load, you give the woman the complex, oh my God, what's wrong with me? Listen, there are different guys do it in different ways, and I have never lost a woman because I don't eat pussy. But if that's not something you want to do, then don't do it. Your thoughts?
Well, for one, the pussy has to be edible. Okay, so if that, I mean, not all pussy's edible. You know, motherfuckers want you to eat their pussy, and the shit is fucked up. Yeah, right. So no, you know, like quite frankly, a pussy has got a lot going on. You know, yes. there's a lot going on with a vagina. So you know, like only like a simp is really all up in there eating ass and fucking licking toes and shit. Like simps do that shit. I'll be honest with you. Again, I'm not against. If it's your wife, your girl, that the pussy's good, she takes care of it for you, then cool, eat the pussy. But these random chicks off the street that been at the club all night and fucking sweaty and shit, and because you're trying to impress her, you eat the pussy, and you're a simp in my book. Yes. So you know, where was I going to go with this? Shit. There were times, Donovan, that because I always say I give women reward pumps anyway. I don't fuck for free. Right. There were times I faked orgasms, bro. Yep. Like I'm no joke. Like there were times I saw, okay, she had about 5. Well, this is a quickie, and then I'm like pretending I'm busting and shit. You know, and because I just really wasn't into it like that. Like, but this only comes with experience. That's like right. I have money on my mind. I don't have pussy on my mind. But there was a time, like when we were talking to 20-something-year-olds, pussy's on the mind. So I want you to get to the point where you've had enough pussy to see. It's just a fucking hole. It's a wet hole, sometimes a big hole, small hole, medium-sized hole, whatever. Tight hole, you two chill. Yeah. Right. So I want you to get to the point where you realize, okay, it's a sensation of the body, but you know that you can rise above that, and then like not pedestalize her or the pussy so much. You'll be in much better shape. So you know, I hope that most men can have enough casual experiences to see that these motherfuckers are really bad investments, and the only time that they're going to be good investments is when they're coachable and they come in and they're under our leadership. That is the only time ever in your life as a man that you should ever consider even bringing her on the team permanently, is when she's actively campaigning and telling you, I want to be your girl. I want your last name. I'd love to have your children. I want to be, you know, I want you to be, I want you to be my man. And then now she has to show it day in, day out. That's the only time that she can ever be in contention to be your girlfriend.
And there are no negotiations, my friend. All right, let's go to Carlos in Chicago. He's out your way. Carlos, you're on live with Donovan and EO. Go ahead.
What's going on, Donovan? What's going on, Coach? I just subscribed to you. You know, you're helping me tighten up my game, you know, with the sim stuff and everything. So, like, just want to say thank you. I just subscribed recently, and I just want to talk about something real quick. So, like, casually dating, like, as a young man, like, 24, like, I know it's, like, one of my, like, top questions is, like, do you got a boyfriend? Like, I don't want it to be too invasive, but at the same time, like, you know, it's less drama if a woman don't got a boyfriend, you know? So, that's one question. Yeah. And then another one, too, I find it, like, problematic, you know, with single moms. Like, they're looking for commitment because they realize, you know, they screwed up. They got a man that, you know, left them. So, you know, they're looking to lock down a man. So I find that problematic a little bit. So can you help me out with that?
Okay. EO, I guess you could.
I can go first on that one. Yeah, I can go first. Good questions, caller. Thanks for calling in tonight. I want to tell you that every woman walking the face of the earth has got somebody. So you never have to ask. Yep. Every woman has got a man somewhere doing something, whether it's just for dick, attention, take her out, Red Lobster, Olive Garden, give her attention, good mornings. Right. A woman, every woman walking the face of the earth has got a man somewhere. So you never have to ask, just she has one. So never ask.
Right.
it should get to the point where she's asking you because you never ask her relationship questions. She should be asking you those questions. Like, so do you got a woman? Are you casually dating? What are you doing? And that point, then she should be asking you that. You shouldn't be asking her that. In the beginning stages, all you should be doing is observing her and positioning her to reveal the truth to you. Because all you got to do is watch her. Is she on her phone a lot? Is she all over social media? Stories all day, this and that. So you'll know who she is just by simple observation. So that's number one. I think the second question was single mothers.
Moms, yeah.
I don't recommend that you seriously see single mothers. The only exception that I would give a man to consider a single mother is if the father, if it's only one child and that father died. If the father is deceased,
I mean,
okay, that's the only exception. I'm saying she would have to be fucking exceptional with her behavior. I mean, she'd have to be a saint for you, but the only way that, in my opinion, if I'm coaching you, if you're going to consider a single mother, the guy's got to be deceased, and it's only got to be one kid.
And I would actually add this, EO. I guess I'll go from backwards to forwards. That's if she's telling the truth. Because there are a lot of women now, these days, Carlos, they are aware. They are well aware of the fact that a lot of guys, listen, most guys that have a modicum of value worth their salt, most guys don't deal with single mothers. They just don't deal with single mothers. Mm-hmm. But of course, we know that women don't want to settle. They still think that they're worth something. So what they've taken to doing lately is, yes, I have a child, but his or her father is gone. They deceased. And it's, dude, and you will hear these stories. He died in the line of duty. He did 2 tours in Afghanistan, or he was a firefighter, or he was a cop. Some sort of noble profession that legitimizes her single motherhood. I'm gonna tell you what, man, 95.7% of the time, and I'm strictly guessing here, that's just bullshit. Man, dude, baby daddies ain't out here dying. They're out here making more fucking kids because bitches can't quit fucking these dudes. So if a woman tells you her husband died, you need to quiz her on the details. Never believe what a woman says to me, because you have to understand, women will never, ever, and I mean never, ever, ever tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. You're just going to have to understand that. And when it comes to their kids and their baby daddies, they lie even more. In terms of dating single mothers, only date them casually. Don't even date them casually. Just use them for sex. That's it. Don't spend time with her. Don't take her out on dates. Don't meet her kids. No, fuck that. Oh, listen, single mothers are only good for sticking your sausage in. That's it. Do not commit anything outside of the 6.5 minutes it takes for you to blow your load. 5 minutes of which it takes, and 5 of those minutes, you're getting dressed and getting the fuck up out of there, or telling her to get the hell out of your house. Now, in terms of the boyfriend question, I totally agree with EO. Don't ask a girl if she has a boyfriend, because if she doesn't, she'll tell you, no, I don't have a boyfriend. If she does, she'll tell you, no, I don't have a boyfriend. And even if she doesn't have a boyfriend, she's fucking somebody, okay? Understand this, Carlos. Women are never not fucking. Now, if she likes the guy she's fucking a lot, she'll consider that guy to be her boyfriend. But she could be dating somebody officially, and she doesn't really like him that much, so she doesn't consider him to be her boyfriend. Always assume that, just like EO said, always assume that there is a man in their life on some level, platonically or otherwise. It's just best not to ask that question at all, man.
Yeah, and real quick, just to follow up on what you just said, the reason why you don't want to bring it up is because she's instantly going to lose attraction to you, because you're already like, you don't know her like that to be asking her that question. Okay, like if you're asking her, so do you got a boyfriend? She's instantly going to think, okay, he's looking at me as like a girlfriend possibility. And instantly she's going to be turned off to you because she hasn't shown you jack shit for you to be asking that question.
Right. When you ask a girl if she has a boyfriend, those are what we call buying questions, right? Mm-hmm. Do you have a boyfriend? In a girl's mind, she's interpreting. See, here's the thing. Here's what you have to understand. And I understand where you're coming from, Carlos. all three of us, we understand. Listen, we want to know if she has a boyfriend so that we can avoid drama. That's the way we think. But you're not asking men, you're asking women. If a woman asks you if you have a girlfriend, that is her asking a buying question. And because women project their feelings onto us, they assume that we think like them. So when you ask a woman, do you have a boyfriend? She's thinking, he's asking me if I have a boyfriend because he potentially wants to be my girlfriend. She's going to be immediately turned off because she's going to be thinking, dude, this guy's known me for 9.5 minutes. Why is he asking me if I have a boyfriend? Does this guy want to be my boyfriend? And it's all downhill from there.
And one last thing, to avoid drama, every time you see her, she should be coming to see you where you're at.
Bingo.
Okay.
Right.
If you ever meet a woman out where she's at, you're asking for trouble. Okay. I don't care if she tells you I'm out right. Oh, are you out? Yeah, I'm out tonight. Cool. Why don't you come meet me and my friends? Say, no, I'm actually engaged right now in a situation. I'm occupied with a few people here, but why don't you continue to see them, have your little girls' night out, and come see me at 1?
There you go.
Let her go dance and drink and get her little, girls' night out fix. And then when she's ready to fuck, then you come see me. So never go to her house. I do not advocate men going to women's houses. That's when there's creepy ex-boyfriends lurking and you get your fucking windows busted and shit. So never ever go to their houses and never meet them out. Everything has to be where she comes to you.
To follow up on that's the first thing I was thinking about, is that's for your security. Dude, I've smashed countless girls at their place. And dude, like, we'll see lights outside. I'm like, who the fuck is that? Oh, that's my ex-boyfriend. I'm like, are you fucking for real with this shit?
Yeah, they're so goofy.
Right, like, I'm like, yo, what? Dude, girls are so fucking, they're so fucking messy. It got to a point, it actually got to a point where I would start getting pissed off at the girl, be like, yo, what the fuck is he doing here? Like, I'm not, like, listen, if this dude draws down on me, it's gonna be a bad fucking day, right? So you're just gonna have to understand. And I would always tell him, listen, I'm not fighting that dude for you. I'm gonna tell him that you hollered at me. Like, this shit is your fucking fault. He ain't gonna blame me. I'm a fucking man. I am not about to fucking go down for you, bitch.
Hey, Donovan, fuck her in a back seat or in an alley before you fuck her at her house.
Exactly. Listen, you fuck her at your place because that's your territory. You control who comes and who goes. At the girl's house, and dude, I can't believe I didn't think of this. You actually reminded me of it. That's exactly right. You never know who could show up. Her fucking boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, her friends, her parents. No, dude, it's all bad. Always fuck her at your place, Carlos.
Appreciate it, fellas.
All right.
You got it.
Carlos, we've got Danny in Alaska on the line. Before we go to Danny in Alaska, I actually just lost track of the chat. Hang on a second. I just lost track. Oh, there's the chat. My bad. Sorry about that. Okay, shout out to Daniel Mason, who just became a member. So Danny in Alaska is going to be our last call of the day. Pardon me, because she is getting in the shower to get ready to. She's going to go get tan, and she'll be prancing around here in stripper heels and whatever the hell. Listen, I told Dev, I said, listen, you gotta understand, if you get a boob job, you're not gonna be wearing, like, sometimes we watch our niece Olivia, and it's funny because we'll keep Olivia for 1, 2, 3 days, and we'll go show her a good time, take her to Chuck E. Cheese. But I always tell her, I'm like, look, man, if you ever wanna, if when you get this boob job, you're gonna have to understand, you're gonna be walking around naked a lot. Except for when Olivia's here. So you might want to talk to your sister about maybe doing some sort of quasi visitation type shit. You just got to be ready. And of course she laughs at all that. So Daniel Mason, welcome to the live replays and the chat. Appreciate that very much. Okay, very good. Let's go to Danny in Alaska. Danny in Alaska, you are on live with Donovan and EO. Go ahead.
Yeah, one thing I want to talk about is that you really got to watch out for the fact that some girls are really sneaky about it. Like, they'll pretend to be down for you, play the role traditional and everything, and thing at the beginning when the relationship starts, and they'll just start trying to pull away stuff, like little by little stop doing things. You have to literally keep a scorecard of things she does, and notice if she drops one thing and be like, hey, this your job, get back to it. Because sometimes the really sneaky ones, that's how they do it. like they'll just like once in a while forget to fill your drink, and it's like, oh my bad, no, that's your job, get to it.
Yeah, listen,
And
I think,
yeah, they
go ahead.
think you like that.
Well, I think the reason why, and EO, maybe you have a different opinion on this. I think the reason why girls see what you have to understand, Danny, and we'll get EO's thoughts on this as well. The thing you have to understand, Danny, is that any girl can fake it for 3, 4, sometimes even 6 months, right? But when you're vetting a woman, I don't know.
There's some background noise there.
I think that's Danny. He's like in a steel mill somewhere. But what you're, I kid because I care. But what you're gonna have to understand, Danny, is that if when you are vetting a woman for potential relationship, you need to vet her no less than 12 months. You need to be with her through 4 seasons, because what'll happen is if you start dating a girl during the spring, all of a sudden hot girl summer comes up, she starts fucking somebody else. If you start dating a girl in the fall, that's what Steve the Dean calls sucker me season, otherwise known as cuffing season. She had her hot girl summer, and now she doesn't want to be alone. She has to have a boyfriend for the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Valentine's Day. Then when spring break comes along, then she's like, okay, we got to talk. You need to vet a woman for no less than 1 year. A woman can't fake being traditional and on your program for she can't do it for a year or more. And even if let's say she does fake it for 1 year, guess what? She's not faking it anymore. That's actually who she is. So when you're vetting for a potential relationship, you have to vet them for a long time. EO, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that. I say even 24 months would be the sweet spot.
Yeah, man.
And here's the thing: let her know it's going to take that long.
Yep.
I think it's important that you tell her, like, hey, I don't rush into these decisions. This is not a decision I take lightly, especially if we're considering long-term potential.
Yep.
And it's a serious matter, and it's not. I know people fools rush in these days, but I'm not a fool. So I take my time and I really evaluate the situation. You also have to be coaching her nonstop, because usually it takes her. It's going to take her probably, I'm going to say this, every important thing that you want her to learn, it's going to take her probably 3 months minimum to master that
Easy.
One thing.
Yep.
Okay, because you're going to have to re-coach her several times on one thing. Okay, the way she cooked the salmon, the way she baked the chicken, it was undercooked this time. Make her put it back in. Show her why. Hey, you gotta test the meat. Make sure it's got to be this particular temperature.
Yes.
Like, you have to teach her how to fucking do everything. The whites, the darks, and the wash machine. I mean, like,
dude,
you're gonna have to coach her, then re-coach her, then coach her again.
Right.
Then you're going to have to coach her again. Now you could sit back and watch her doing it a little more smoothly, but then trust me, there's going to be another. You'll have to coach her again. So the coaching never stops.
Never.
And I would say a minimum of 24 months, but let her know, like, hey, this is what you're up against. I'm very strict on these particular things. And so if I see you just simply can't adhere and do it, and you're not qualified to be here, that's it. You got to tell her that.
One final comment.
Yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, I wanted to agree with Coach EO. It's exactly what happened in my last relationship. Like if I had my eyes open as they are now, I would have seen that the first year she was acting right, and the second year things started to fall off.
See,
but partially blue-pilled me still thought that maybe she's just having a bad time. No,
shit.
It was her revealing herself, because she only lasted a year, and the second year it started to come out.
That's true.
You know what's interesting? I don't ever give give a bitch a pass on being a bitch. Now, I have a cycle calendar, and I highly recommend. Yes, I highly recommend everybody to get a cycle calendar on your woman. Not to get too revealing here. However, whoa, wait a minute. Period late by 44 days. So this isn't logging my shit. This is ridiculous. Give me 2 seconds here, guys, because I remember exactly when this started. Okay, there we are. So let me save that. So, perfect. So, today is August the 7th, right? In about another week or so, Dev is going to be ovulating. That means she's going to be as horny as I don't know what. She's going to be, dude, she is going to be absolutely, she's going to be super duper duper horny. Well, at that point, I know how to treat her, right? But then when she's on her period, see, a lot of guys like to say, well, she's on her period, so maybe this is why she's being a bitch. That is, dude, that is hogwash. And dude, Dev sometimes will try to cop an attitude when she's on her period. I'm like, yo, check this out. Check this out. Just because you're on your period does not give you permission to be a fucking bitch. You better dial that shit back right now. Never, ever give a woman an excuse for being a fucking bitch. I don't give a, dude, I don't give a, dude, PMS period, I don't give a fuck. You're going to respect me in my house as long as you are with me. Never give a woman, never give her an excuse, a preconceived excuse for being a bitch. What are your thoughts on that, EO?
Yeah, I mean, you better give her a Midol, a couple fucking Motrin, and tell her to go in the room and mind her own fucking business for a while. Like, I mean, you even have to manage her period for her.
Yeah, man. Yep.
Like I'm just being honest. Yep. Like, if you're not ready to manage these motherfuckers from start to finish, don't get in a relationship, because it's not going to succeed, and then the disrespect will begin to happen. So I really do mean it, guys. You're going to have to manage every single facet of the relationship. You're also, I said this during a live stream the other day, that you have to tell your woman how to feel.
Yes. That's right.
She's going to feel however she feels.
Right.
It's going to change. So what you need to do is stop her and say, no, we don't have time for you to be feeling like that.
Right.
You need to be feeling like this right now. Right. And guess what? She will do it.
That's right.
I've seen it happen where I'm like, hey, we don't have time for this conversation. This right here is petty. We're not talking about this right now. And you know what they do? Okay.
Fall right the fuck in.
Okay. Yep.
Fall right the fuck in. That's when, and again, guys, this is why we call this elite level game. The stuff that we're talking about, this really only applies if you have experience, right? And the only way to really experience this kind of stuff is to date casually. That's the way you do this. Uncle Guns, with the $15 super chat, says, everyone should throw in something for this absolute watertight game tonight. Solid gold value as usual. Salute. I appreciate that, man. It's good to be recognized for our efforts. Okay, so let's talk about another behavior that you need to nip in the bud. And a lot of guys are not ready for this because you've never thought about this. One of the behaviors that needs to stop immediately is talking to other men in your presence in public. You're out with your woman and she starts a conversation or she's having a conversation with a man in public. Something women love to do is to entertain conversations with other men in your presence. Okay? You understand this? They do this because they think it's healthy and normal. Right? Because no man has ever told her not to. And of course, she wants to keep her options open. OMG, Donovan, just because a girl talks to a guy doesn't mean she wants to fuck him. Absolutely correct. But if she talks to enough guys, she'll run into a few she does want to fuck. And then all of a sudden, his girl wants to eat at Applebee's for the third time that week so she can go say hi to Randy or stop by the same gas station after work to flirt with TJ, who flirted with her when she was in there with her boyfriend last week. Oh boy, that's Kevin Samuels. It is highly, highly, highly disrespectful for a woman to be talking to another man with her man standing right there. And if you're a man and you allow it, you fucking deserve to be cheated on. Now, not every woman talks to men in public with the sole intent of fucking them, obviously. But this behavior, gentlemen, this opens the door, pardon me, this opens the door for this to happen later on. And if you do not establish this boundary, you are in for a world of hurt later on. And at that point, it'll be way too late to do anything about it, but really wait for the bottom to drop out of your relationship. Now, this has to be handled non-verbally as far as the setting boundaries are concerned, right? But when voicing expectations, it is definitely verbal. So here's an example. If you're just dating or casually fucking, the way you convey to her that you will handle any and all transactions with men when you're together is to be assertive in all situations, right? If you're at the register, you do all the talking. If she tries to talk, simply, shh, I got it, it's fine, right? Now, she may get irritated, but if she likes you enough and your value is high enough, she'll get over it and she'll recognize that you're in charge. She'll recognize that you're in charge, which will in turn relax her and cause her to be more attracted to you. If you're at a restaurant, and I cannot state this enough, You need to do all the talking to the waiter or waitress.
Yeah.
When they approach your table and say, hey, welcome to XYZ restaurant, can I start you guys off with something to drink? Say very assertively, yeah, give us a few. Then ask your girl what she wants to drink. Then when the waiter comes back, you order for her. Say, all right, she'll have an unsweetened tea and I'll have a Diet Coke. This gesture, gentlemen, sets the tone immediately. Your girl knows and understands that you will be doing all the talking and she can sit back and relax. Again, this may rub her the wrong way at first, but if she likes you enough, guys, and she recognizes she doesn't have to take charge all the time like she was with her last 30 boyfriends, she'll be relieved. At this point, all she has to do is tell you what she wants and you take care of it. Like, think about that, right? So while the waiter gets your drinks, ask her what she wants to eat. When the waiter comes back, you say, look, are you ready for it? You say, yeah. She'll have the chicken marsala and I'll do the steak and potatoes medium rare. Gentlemen, this sequence is extremely powerful with women. They know that they're with a bona fide alpha male who also happens to be a gentleman. You took charge assertively, you did all the ordering for the both of you, and you showed her that you are in complete control. Most importantly, she now knows that you will be handling all transactions when the two of you are in public, which almost eliminates her need to talk to any male in public. That is the nonverbal route. And when we get to the setting of the expectations, I'll explain the verbal way. What are your thoughts, EO?
You actually took my talking point, so there's not much I could say because I agree with everything you said. And remember, it comes back to what I said earlier. Always have the authoritative position.
That's right.
So when you're saying, hey, we're going to go get Olive Garden, like you said, you should already know what she likes anyway. Now, upon meeting her, you won't know that. But like you said, when you walk in the door, you should be first. Okay. Right. Don't open the door for her and let her go in first. I'm not for that. I'm for opening the door and me going in first.
Right.
Now, I'll hold it open for her, but I'm going in first. I'm walking up to the hostess. How many? 2. We're gonna sit there. I'll even tell them, hey, a booth right in that section to the right.
Real talk.
And then I'm not letting her go first. I'm walking ahead of her. Part of that is actually a showing of strength too, is because you're assessing the perimeter. You're looking to see if there are any threats. Why would you let the woman go first like she's some queen and you're standing in back of her? I see that too much where guys are walking behind the woman. Okay, when you should be walking in front of the woman, probably a step and a half to 2 steps beyond her.
Yes.
So it all comes back to being in the authoritative position. And if you do that enough, she's just going to follow suit. And she will actually enjoy it too. Believe me, a woman enjoys not having to have the pressure of being able to make decisions. Even when you guys are making purchases, you'll be able to tell her how to pay for it. Like, let's say she's even paying for it with her own money.
Right.
I'm getting to learn what kind of credit card she has, how much money she has. I know that shit. So I'll tell her, what you should do is put it on the Discover. It's no interest for 12 months right now. Put it on the Discover. You got to be telling her how to do everything. Dude. Okay. You manage her money. You manage her credit cards. You manage every single situation. And then that's when she's going to respect you.
Dude, real fucking talk. I'm on Devin's ass all the time. I'm like, yo, you need to pay your balance every month. I'll ask her the 30. Hey, what are your credit card balances? Here. All right, I'm going to send you X, Y, and Z. Pay them right now, and she'll send me screen verifications. I'll admit, I used to walk in front of Devin at restaurants all the way up until about the CME. Then, of course, all the craziness happened, and that kind of slipped. I'm glad we had this particular podcast because now it's time to tighten up. Never let a woman walk in front of you, gentlemen. Ever, ever, ever. That is an absolute no-no. If someone walks in front of you, they are leading you. You need to be the leader, not her.
Yes.
Casual Germ, $10 says paying tuition. Appreciate that. Jay Bodie with the $50 super. With the $50 super chat. Says keep up the great work, and I agree. If a man allows disrespectful conduct from a woman once, she will never have the same level of respect and attraction. Rickster, $5 says, love your YouTube channel. I first subscribed to you yesterday when you were on your live. Advice is changing people's lives in a better way. I greatly appreciate that, man. Thank you guys. Thank you guys very, very much. Let's talk about another behavior that needs to be stamped out immediately. Talking about ex-boyfriends or past sexual encounters. Now, admittedly, this was one of the major issues I had with Devin when we first met, okay? Like most women out here, she foolishly thought that by talking about her sexual encounters with other men made her more attractive to me, right? But I let her know very quickly that was not the case. It actually took me a couple of weeks to completely break her that habit. In the end, I had to literally shame her to tears before she stopped it, right? I mean, like, look, dude, I'll never forget this. I was like, seriously, listen, I get it. You're a slut. You're probably still a slut. Don't need to hear about it. Like, honestly, every time you tell me this stuff, I'm going to assume that you're a bigger slut. So please, tell me more, slut. And dude, if this is on the phone, she cried her fucking, can I hang up the phone? I was like, no, you're going to tell me about all your fucking ex-boyfriends and ex-flings, slut. So go on. Guess what? Never brought anything up again, okay? Most of the time, all it takes is one, maybe two verbal confrontation, and, you know, this sort of annoying behavior kind of goes away. But, so, if the girl you're with starts talking about her ex-boyfriend or some sort of sexual encounter with another guy, interrupt her immediately and be very direct. Don't talk about that stuff around me, or save that for your girlfriends. I don't want to hear it, and leave it at that. Gentlemen, she will get the picture right away and will almost completely stop. Listen, she may, I don't know, every once in a while let one slip, but she'll quickly catch herself doing it and change the subject immediately. Now, if you catch one who asks you, OMG, are you jealous or insecure about my past? All you need to say in response is, call it what you want. I don't want to hear about it. And don't say another word. Listen, man, nothing is more uncomfortable than watching a woman talk about the great sex she had with her ex-boyfriend in front of her husband. Have you ever seen that before? Like a husband and a wife will be at a and they'll be sitting there opening, oh yeah, I dated Rob back in college and he used to bottom me out all the time. Fucking husband right there within fucking earshot. Listen, a buddy of mine in Vegas actually used to do this all the time, right? She could not stop talking about her ex-boyfriends at all the whole time while she was in college, right? We'd all just be standing around looking at each other like, dude, what the fuck? Well, she would talk about a dude's dick size and like what position she got fucked in her dorm. It was absolutely wild. He never said anything about it. He just kind of stood there and listened. Do not be that guy. The very first time she talks about her ex, let her know very clearly you ain't here for that. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I haven't experienced this personally much, if ever, because I can't really think back to a time where I had a woman. Now, the only thing that I've heard is like maybe her talking about her ex, like, yeah, I just got out of a relationship. Now, you're going to hear that a lot, like, yeah, I just got out of a relationship. And what you could do is tell her, listen, before you get into that, I'm not here for that. You're not here for my ex. I'm not here for your ex. We're here to have a good time, and that's it. So just say it. You're going to hear that one a lot. Now, the one about talking about their ex-boyfriend's dicks and stuff, I'm sure that's out there. I would tell you she's she doesn't respect you at that point.
No way.
Like at that point, there's no respect whatsoever until you start putting her in her place. Like D said, you know, hey, come on, slut. Damn, you've been around, huh? You know, like, you know, or whatever. I mean, that was one method he used, and it seemed to have worked fine. I will tell you that you're probably more so going to hear women maybe bring up the fact that, oh, I was just in a relationship. My ex-boyfriend used to do that. Sometimes a woman might even tell you, oh, what cologne is that you have on? My ex-boyfriend used to wear it. And just be like, hey, listen, you know, just so you know, I never want to hear about your past. It's none of my business. And you should never hear about the women I used to see because it's none of your business. And just let her know right then and there like that. That usually takes care of it.
If I'm ever in a situation where a woman, like, let's just take the situation you just talked about. You're wearing the same, you're wearing the same cologne as my ex-boyfriend. You know what I would have done in that situation? I've never had that happen before, but here's what I do. She'll be like, who are you calling? I'm calling your ex-boyfriend to come and get you. Yeah, Steve. It seems like we got our colognes mixed up. Looks like she's reminiscing. She's right here. You want to talk to her? Right? Like, listen, that's the way that goes. Listen, never be afraid to embarrass your woman. Listen, Dev and I are on vacation in Hawaii. This is funny as hell. This is funny as shit. She went bright red. So we're sitting at it, dude. We're sitting right on the ocean. It was this ridiculous resort she took us to, and we're sitting there eating breakfast. All of a sudden, she starts getting all demonstrative. She starts talking this and that and the other. Immediately, I turn around, and the dude sitting behind me looks like fucking Thor. Do you know what I did? So I got right here to the side, right? I said, listen, man, my girl here seems to really like you. If you want, you guys can exchange numbers, and you guys can take our room. What do you say? I look back at her. They both looked embarrassed. Guess what? When Dev sees and again, you guys got to understand this. Just because your woman loves you, that doesn't mean she's automatically going to stop being attracted to other people. She's human. It happens. But your woman should have respect enough for you not to be shooting indirect IOIs to people in front of you. Never allow that to happen. If you see your girl is flirting with somebody, fucking call her and be like, oh, you guys seem to be hitting it off. I guess there's no need for me to be here. I'll go ahead and call my Uber. What time should I expect you home? Like, do that kind of shit. Dude, your woman will never, ever flirt with you again or flirt in front of you again.
And one last thing too, if you are, the conversation of hypergamy comes up, that's a Rollo Tomasi thing.
There you go.
Now, why can't you be the supreme upgrade for her?
Sure.
Like, I think guys are too interested in thinking like, oh, she's going to be on a come up. There's always going to be something better.
Right.
Like, truth be told, in my mind, there's nothing better. Like, nothing. Like, there's no fuck game better. There's no wisdom better. You can't be led better than this. No one dresses doper. Like, I'm just the best. Like, and I want every guy to feel like that. Like, I want every guy. Now, first of all, you can't feel like that if you're not actually producing that. Right. Like guys say, just think it, guy. Just be confident.
Right.
You're not going to be confident unless it's actually happening, and you keep repeating it over and over and over. Confidence comes from repetition and doing it over and being so, like, you can do it. So thinking you can do it and knowing you could do it are two different things. So I would tell guys, like, for one, don't bring up your past, because a woman's always going to follow your lead. So if you're talking about your ex, she's going to feel comfortable to talk about her ex.
That's right.
I also gave a clue before that you have to tell her how to text you. So if, let's say, for example, I think I said this on our show, that you tell the woman, hey, I have a texting rule.
Okay.
You and I only send each other pictures that we've taken for one another.
That's
so
right.
Never send me a picture that was previously taken. I won't acknowledge it. And quite frankly, I'll lose interest in you.
Yep.
So everything that you send me has to be based on my direction. You do it the way I tell you to do it.
Right.
And anything I do for you has to be exclusively made for you. So you're setting the tone from the very beginning with everything. And once you tell her that, like, hey, I find it very classless to send pictures that you've previously taken, tell her that. Hey, yes. I find it classless for me to send you a picture that I took to somebody else, and for you to do that. That automatically is going to signal to her that you find it unacceptable to be bringing the past into the present.
Real talk. I do remember you saying that. I have never I would never have thought of that. Even in my the height of my player powerdom in Vegas, I would never have thought to say, hey, you're only going to be sending me fucking original pictures, and I'm going to watermark those bitches. So let's talk about another bad behavior, and a lot of guys, like on the first date or a first meetup, a lot of guys tolerate this because they're afraid to nip it in the bud. This is a woman who is on her phone during a date. I'll tell you guys a quick personal story. When I first started running, I guess, red pill style game, I hit probably about a 3-month stretch where it seemed like every chick I arranged a meetup with was on her phone, like the entire time. Obviously, I hated it, right? So I researched how to handle it, and I came across a Christian McQueen post where he said he simply reached over the table, grabbed the girl's phone, placed it face down, and says, "Not now, doll." So on my next date, I actually tried the same thing. I reached over to grab her phone, and she pulled it away. She said, "What the fuck are you doing?" I said, I don't want you on your phone during this date. She said, "Too fucking bad." It was a disaster. The reason why it fell flat is because my frame was all wrong, right? My frame was all wrong, dude. My delivery was trash, and honestly, she probably didn't like me that much. It was probably the first time I'd ever tried it. It was obvious. So I tweaked it a little bit, and I tried it again. So I don't know, maybe a week or two later, I'm out on another date. Now, I already knew this girl liked me a lot, at least more than the last one did. So we're at Starbucks inside of Caesar's Palace, and as soon as she pulls out her phone, I said, "Put that away for me, would you?" She said, "Oh, yeah, sorry. I was just checking to see if my friend called. I just smiled and just kind of sipped on my latte. Not only did I not see her phone the rest of the night, or the rest of the day, I didn't see it the rest of the night, not even when we got to her place. Mistake, I know. The next morning, dude, she literally asks me, hey, do you mind if I check my phone? I said, yeah, no problem. Just don't get lost in there. She laughed and said, okay. I ended up dating that girl for 5 months. The point is, guys, is that if a woman responds adversely to you attempting to establish a boundary, don't trip, don't freak out, okay? All this means is that you will use her for nothing but sex, right? The highest status that she will ever have with you is a fuck buddy, friends with benefits, one night stand, whatever. Yeah. And if you can't get the pussy, dude, charge it to the game, okay? But what you have to do, you have to establish that frame from the jump. What are your thoughts, EO?
You know, I love the way you handled that. Hey, can you put that away for me? And the way she respectfully said, yes, that was perfect, perfectly executed.
So yeah.
You know, I like that. Remember, guys, I said this recently, that do the opposite of what they do. So if you're on your phone a lot, taking pictures and fucking acting feminine on your phone, she's of course going to say, oh, clearly this is acceptable, so I'll just do it. So if you're the kind of guy that puts your phone away, now, look, I get it. If you're a businessman, you need to tell her that then, hey, listen, during this call, I may have to take a phone call. Okay, you just tell her that. Hey, excuse me. During this dinner or during this drink, I may have to step away momentarily to take a phone call, but it'll be brief. So you're kind of letting her know that you might have to take a call, but you're not me. You're not me. You're not running a business. No. You don't have people that need your approval for things. You're just a fucking chick. No offense, but you're just a chick. Okay,
that's right.
And so you have to set the tone. So when you go out with women, you should probably put your phone away. And if you see she has her phone out, say, hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you this one time. I didn't come here to be with you while you're on your phone. Ooh. Now, if you're used to that kind of shit, that's cool. Do you when you're not with me. But when you're with me, that's unacceptable. Damn. And so if she has a problem with that, she can leave. She can leave, and you just let her leave and say, hey, as far as I'm concerned, this date is over. You have a good night, and you stay and order another drink. Dude, I really do mean that you might have to end dates right in the middle of the shit.
Yes, dude. Yes. When I got to a point where I was like dating and fucking strippers, I had zero tolerance for this stuff. I'm like, dude, I got stripper bitches that I'm going to see at midnight, 1 o'clock. Like, all right, put your phone away. I'll give her, and sometimes I didn't even give him a chance. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna get out of here. Look, have a good one. I'll leave a 50, pay for whatever you want, and I'm out of here. I just never dealt with it like that. I was just like, dude, just get the fuck out of here. So Bweezy Bird in the chat asks, what about her going to the bathroom? You're outthinking the room there, buddy. If she goes, listen, you can't keep a woman from. Listen, if a woman wants to go to the bathroom to use her phone, fine. What are you gonna do? Stop her from going to the bathroom? Like, come on, man, come on. What are your thoughts? I don't know.
Well, I mean, again, if it's new, then you can't be tripping on that. But if it's your girl that you've been with, or not your girl, because she's never really your girl, right. But let's say she's been with you for 2 years, and you catch her going to the bathroom and she's taking her purse and her phone, I think that's a problem.
Yep.
I do actually think that's a problem. Your girl should be leaving all her shit with you when she goes places.
Yep.
Okay. And so if your girl, and again, she's not your girl, never your girl, and you're never really her man. It's just, it's you guys are together right now. But if she's been with you for a considerable amount of time, she should be leaving. She should always have her phone out, face up. And if she walks away, she should leave her phone right there.
This is exactly what Devin does. Devin never takes her phone into the bathroom. I made this very clear. Do whatever you want on your phone. You ain't taking it into the bathroom. She doesn't take it into the bathroom at restaurants. And, dude, it's so funny. She is so detached from her phone since she met me. She'll leave her phone at home. Like, we'll go out and this and that and the other, and we'll have a nice dinner. We'll come back. She'll be like, dude, I left my phone on the coffee table. She didn't even realize it because she's not on it like that. That's just kind of the way that is, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about one last behavior. One last behavior that we are going to nip in the bud. This is acting mannish, like farting, burping. I call this the frat girl routine. So a lot of guys will tell me that their girlfriends have turnoffs, right? When I ask them what kinds of behaviors they're talking about, they'll say, she'll burp loudly, or she farts in front of me, or she doesn't cross her legs. Basically, she's just not ladylike, okay? The way to handle this is definitely verbal, and it never, ever, ever, ever takes her long to get the message, right? So if she burps, farts, sits like a man, or does anything that's unladylike, all you have to do is say one thing to correct this behavior very quickly, right? And be sarcastic. Oh, that's feminine. And then look completely grossed out, right? Or you can just say, yeah, that's not very feminine. You might want to clean that up, right? Or I've never seen a woman, listen, what it comes down to, guys, there aren't too many things that women hate being called more than sluts. Not feminine is definitely one of them. Women don't like being called sluts, but if you tell a woman, dude, that's not feminine, they're like, whoa, right? You can also be more direct and say, dude, that's fucking gross. Don't do that shit around me, right? Again, listen, guys, shame the fuck out of her, man. Shame the fucking fuck out of her. She thinks it's funny, but if you're not repulsed at her behavior, she'll stop laughing, right? You can say, go ahead and eat a booger while you're at it, frat girl, right? Any kind of shaming technique you think that literally tells her that she's fucking gross, she's not feminine, she's not ladylike, or that you're repulsed, right? And you don't want to be around a woman who does these things, dude, that will stop this behavior in her tracks. If she farts, be like, dude, you might want to change your panties after that one. Like, what are we doing here? Shame the fuck out of her. Your thoughts?
You know, I really like that. I'll use a different example that I've done before. I use other couples that are around that look gross and nasty and uncouth, and I'll actually comment. I'll comment on them. Like, you see that right there? Look at those. They look like they haven't even bathed today, which is fucking gross. And I'll tell my female, I'll say, and you know who I blame for that? Him. Because he set the example. Now, if he was clean and sharp and polished and well-maintained and good fragrance on, usually he's not going to select a fucking farting, burping, dude-talking bitch, number one. But number two, she's going to have to rise up to his level if she's going to stick around. Okay, so I'll sometimes use outside examples just so she can see how I feel, how I want things. Okay. So that way I'm not directly telling her, but I am telling her by people watching and then telling her, hey, you see that couple right there? That'll never work right there. See how fast she's walking ahead of him? Yep. You see how he's pushing. You see how he's pushing the cart. Yep. And even SNO, she'll tell me like, wow, like she uses the term simp now. She'll say, God, what a simp that was. Right. And it's because she's like me now. She talks like me, thinks like me. Yep. So she'll say, God, that guy's a beta male right there. And I'm like, yeah. So what you got to do is use examples on the outside because there's plenty of them. We live in a fucking pussyfied society. So just use the examples in front of you to pound home your points. Yes,
dude, absolutely. I talked about this in an article a long time ago, and I forgot, like, there are a few examples that I gave, but one example is to point out stuff randomly in public. Like if a guy is, if a guy is buying a girl like a Coach bag, you say to the girl, oh man, she must have sucked his dick good last night, or she must want something. Right? Yes. You know what I mean? Or if like a guy proposes to a woman like in public, dude, just kind of look and shake and be like, dude, that is some bitch ass type shit. Point out, dude, make fun of fat people, dude. If you ever look like that, I'm fucking gone. Just let her know straight up. And it's funny. Olivia and I, which is Dev's niece. She's 13. I remember a couple of years back. I think she was like a 10 or 11. I took her to the mall to get her some ice cream and to buy her some new shoes because she had made good grades or something like that. She liked going to the mall. And so we're walking through the mall, and she says, Donovan. I'm like, what? And she points to this big poster on Victoria's Secret, and it was a fat chick in lingerie. And she says, what do you think about that? And I looked at her, and we both laughed because she knows, she understands. The point is that your influence has to be over everybody. Just like EO said, your woman's got to talk like you, think like you. Everything has to be simpatico, man. And the only way to accomplish this is to be steadfast in your belief system and never ever negotiate or waver, man.
Yeah, I mean that's like I said, and this was a big important. I mean, this whole broadcast was so important for men. Yes. But remember, you have to tell her how to feel.
That's right.
I can't stress that enough. No matter how she's currently feeling, you need to tell her how to feel. And that's how you want her to feel, because how you want her to feel is going to produce the best outcome. So just if you're a man that knows what he's doing. So just remember, but if you don't know how to control your feelings and you're with a woman that doesn't know how to control her feelings, y'all are just a fucking toxic mess that's not going anywhere. So remember, guys, you have to be emotionally intelligent and socially intelligent and all those things, which is why we say to not get into a serious situation until later in your life when you know what you're doing and you've dated enough to have enough experiences. So, but just remember, guys, you have to tell your woman how to feel. If she's angry, you redirect her. If she's pissed, you redirect her. If she's sad, you can let her be sad for a minute because it might be in your best interest that she's sad sometimes. It's better that she's sad than mad. So it's important that you tell your woman how to feel.
Okay, excellent. One last question. And what we'll do is we'll discuss one last topic that has nothing to do with what we talked about, but still applies. So King Life in the chat says Donovan Sharp is wearing Dior Sauvage. I actually happen to I probably own about 20 fragrances. Dior Sauvage among them. Uncle Gunn says he uses Creed Silver Mountain. I like Creed Aventus myself. My two favorite fragrances are Creed Aventus and Mont Blanc Explorer. Holy shit. The bitches out on the West Coast love some Mont Blanc. So you look like it. Listen, you look like you smell good all the time. So what kind of fragrances do you like?
Oh goodness, man! I have a whole catalog. I probably have over 300. I mean, easy.
Wow, serious?
Yeah, over 300.
God,
yeah, well,
damn.
I was in the fragrance game when I was younger. I used to work for a Chicago company called Marshall Fields back when I was 20, and I used to sell cologne. That's why I've been into it for such a long time. When I was in my early 20s, 20, 21, 22, I used to sell men's fragrances, but. I change my fragrance with what I'm wearing and where I'm going and then with the seasons. So like, for example, today's fragrance is by Guerlain, and this is called L'Homme Ideal, which you can't even find this at some stores don't even carry this. You'd have to buy this online.
Here,
but this is like a sweet
up to the camera if you would. That looks really cool. Dude, I thought I was a fucking gangster. I was like, I got 20 fragrances. I was like, dude, I've got.
Yeah. You want to wear things that are not super mainstream. Like I will say, although Dior Sauvage and Bleu de Chanel smell good, a lot of guys wear them. They smell good, but she's definitely smelled it before.
Okay.
So in order for you to not have her say, oh, my ex-boyfriend used to wear that, you want to wear fragrances that are a little bit more expensive, a little more niche.
Yes.
And I'm just saying, if you're a high value man, that's a big thing in the manosphere right now with Kevin Samuels and such. You wanna buy more luxury items, better quality goods. I'd rather you have less than more.
Yes.
But what you have is very high quality and exclusive to you.
Absolutely. I put a poll. I put a poll in the chat. So I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. You guys are gonna vote. So both of these heels, they actually came in the mail today. These are 1,000% stripper heels. These are the heels that the bitches wear on stage. These are both lace-up stripper heels. They tie like halfway up her leg. I like stuff like that. Should Dev wear the white ones or the black ones? Should Dev wear the white ones or the black ones? Vote in the poll. I'll keep it open for a minute more, and then we gotta go. Any last thoughts? Any closing thoughts on on what we talked about today?
Well, excellent broadcast. Good topic tonight. We're going to be doing this, guys, on Saturdays, so look forward to it. Saturday nights. Make sure you prioritize it because there's going to be some game here that you may not have heard elsewhere. Because it's going to be very detail oriented. So hence the title of the show. So I just would say that it's important that you're leading every facet of the relationship. Okay. I actually just started a series called LTR, which is a spinoff on long-term relationship, but it's actually called Leading the Relationship. So I'm going to be telling you guys how to lead the relationship. And so just remember, though, always be in an authoritative position. And when you are, she's less likely to shit test, act up. She's less likely. Right. Will it happen? Absolutely. I mean, in my experience, when you're leading everything, it's very minimal. Okay, it's very minimal. Is she going to do it? She's still going to do some shit. But it's going to be so minimal. Yeah, she's a woman. And part of being with women is that you have to understand how women are. And so, but always be in an authoritative position, always be giving her instructions and directions, and you should be in pretty good shape.
Logically Fallacious says, I like fucking girls while they wear heels. Yeah, so do I. One last thought, man. This is the weird thing. I don't know if this is, we might have this in common, but I don't know. To me, pussy all feels the same. It all feels the same. I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. I mean, obviously a woman's shape and all that, it makes a difference. But honestly, the pussy of a 6 feels exactly the same as the pussy of a 10. Yes, there are subtle differences here and there, but by and large, pussy's pussy. And because I've had extensive experience sleeping with girls, that I actually like the way sex looks more so than the way it feels, right? If I were to go blind, I really wouldn't want to have sex anymore, because I like the way it looks. Like I like watching my girl's tits bounce up and down while I'm plowing her. I like to see her ass wriggle while I'm pounding her. What are your is that the way you are? Because a lot of guys, oh my god, pussy feels good, and they close their eyes. No, I like watching my girl suck my dick. I like watching my dick go in and out. What are your thoughts on that, man?
Yeah, no, I'm very visual. I can completely agree with that. You know, the whole thing for us men is really the visual. I mean, does it feel good? Yeah, sure. I mean, if you fuck enough, I mean,
it all feels the same.
You adjust the pussy. I mean, you adjust the pussy. It's more so the dick they can't adjust to. I think size does matter when it comes to women. I really do. If you really talk to a woman, I mean, I'm not going to lie to men and say it doesn't matter. I mean, do you have to be 10 inches? No, because even that could be too much for some women. Sure. But size does matter, and how long you can last, how you work the dick. I'm more, you know what, to be honest with you, this is going to sound extremely arrogant, but I'm more so interested in how I'm fucking rather than fucking her.
Okay.
I'm more so thinking about like me, it sounds so arrogant. Okay. But like I'm thinking about like how I look and shit. Like I'm looking in the mirror. Like I mean, I'm looking at her, but I'm more so looking at me. I'm looking at like I'm looking at what she's looking at. Like I'm more so like, okay, I noticed she's looking at this, and she, you know, I'm over here flexing and shit, you know, fucking when she's riding and shit, you know, like so.
American
I'm
Psycho
so fucking
style.
yeah. So I'm so arrogant, man. I mean, I'm very arrogant, and I have every right to be. And so I'm more so interested in like what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, rather than so much about really her. But I do see your point. Sometimes it's nice to leave the thong on when you're fucking, especially if it's like skinny. Leave that motherfucker on and use it as leverage when you're plowing her from the back. YouTube chill, or even just when you're fucking her, because it's nice sometimes to have that thong still on.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you what, man. One position I really like to have lately is when I'm fucking her doggy style. She'll go face down, ass up, right? And so her ass is sticking right up, and her tits are squished on the bed, and you see the side boob. Oh my god, dude! I'm like, nice. As soon as I see side boob, I'm like, oh, slow down. Gotta close my eyes.
And tell her to put her face on the mattress to the side. Oh, like that's a very submissive position too. She does. Is to have her just for completely flat. You know, that's a very submissive position.
Dude, I say face down, ass up, and she arches that back like, dude, I can do like a half pipe in that motherfucker, man. I'm gonna tell you what. After she gets her boob job, I'm gonna put a mirror like right at the headboard. It won't be me that I'm watching. I'll be watching those. I want to be able to bounce a penny off it and shoot some goddamn body. Okay, so you guys voted in the poll. 113 of you voted, and it looks like the Black Heels win. So Devin will be wearing the black lace-up stripper heels, which means she'll have to be wearing something black to match. I like to accessorize. She's still going to be wearing these pink thongs. Dude, these things are so small it barely covers her pubic hair. Freaking awesome, love it. Nice. Awesome. Tell the people where they can find you, man.
Yeah, good show tonight. Thank you, Donovan. Absolutely, always a pleasure to unite with you. I'm Coach EO. My YouTube channel is actually just type in Coach EO. You'll see me there. I have some very successful series right now. One of them happens to be Killing the Simp, where I try to kill the simp. And every guy is born into this simp culture. So you're going to have some simp ways, 100%. So it's really my job to kind of introduce you to those simp ways and to help you really kill it yourself. So come on through. I may have a video out tonight, brand new video to publish. And also find me on Instagram, CoachEO_Champion Game. And my website where you can book a session with me is championgamecoaching.com. Also, my first book is out, Cut the Bullshit. It's on Amazon. I have a second book coming out late summer, so a couple weeks. It is absolutely incredible.
What's it called?
I
Can
am
we get the
very.
title?
I don't want to give the name away yet because it's going to be a surprise, but it is an incredible piece of literature that I'm very, very proud of. So be on the lookout for that.
Perfect. As always, EO, you brought your A game today, and we'll see you next week, man.
Thank you so much.
All right, that is Coach Everett Overton. You guys can check out his YouTube page at Coach EO, So the Book of Womanese, Volume 3, is out. You can actually get all 3 volumes at a big time discount. Yeah, EO's right. Size does matter when it comes to dick size. There is a caveat and maybe not. Size matters as long as if you are in the top or the bottom if you're in the top or bottom 5%, size matters a lot more. If you're in that middle 90%, there's really not much of a difference. But if you're in the top or bottom 5 to 10%, if you have a micro dick, that matters, right? If you have a P-star size dick, if you're, 11 by 6 or some crazy number like that, that's going to matter. But for the rest of us, I don't know what the normal size dick is. I think my dick is a little over like 7 5/8, when I'm fully stretched or whatever. And that really depends upon how well I'm turned on. My dick was probably 3 inches a couple nights ago. Who knows? But at any rate, that is going to do it for this edition of Elite Level Game. Thank you guys very, very much for tuning in, and we will see you guys next week. Take care.